We interrupt this episode to bring you a special news report. It shouldn't hurt to be a kid.
What age are children abused? All ages of children suffer from child abuse and neglect. Research has shown, however, that risk factors exist making it more likely that certain children may be abused. These risk factors include 67% of children are less than 1 year old, 80% are less than 3 years old, past history of abuse. Repeated abuse has been shown to occur more than 50% of the time. Repeatedly abused children have a 10% chance of sustaining a lethal event.
Child abuse is a worldwide problem affecting children from birth to 18 years of age. The most recent U.S. data dates from 2005, which during 3.3 million reports of abuse and neglect were filed. 1,460 children, 4 children a day, died in 2005 as a result of inflicted trauma, with more than 77% of these deaths in children less than the age of 4.
77% are parents, and another 11% are other relatives of the victim. People who are in other caretaking relationships to the victim. For example, child care providers, foster parents, and facility staff account for only 2% of the offenders.
What is child abuse? In the United States, each state is responsible for drafting definitions for child abuse and neglect consistent with federal law. The Child Abuse Prevention and Treatment Act, amended in October 1996, provides the basis from which individual states may structure their legislation. 4 broad categories are generally recognized. Number 1, neglect at 63%. Number 2, physical abuse at 16%. Number 3, sexual abuse, 10%. And number 4, emotional abuse at 7%.
How can child abuse be prevented? This, too, is a very complex matter that includes these measures. A support group structure is needed to reinforce parenting skills and closely monitor children's well-being. Visiting home nurse or social worker visits are also required to observe and evaluate the progress of the child and his or her caretaking situation. Children's school programs regarding good touch, bad touch can provide children with a forum in which to role-play and learn to avoid potentially harmful scenarios. Parents should make sure that their child's daycare center is licensed and has open-door policy regarding parental visitation. Public awareness programs regarding child abuse and neglect can be informative. Developing free and anonymous support systems, for example, hotlines, encourages and reporting of potential instances of child abuse.
What causes child abuse deaths? The most lethal form of child abuse is neglect. Deaths from neglect can, for example, be caused by accidents due to lack of supervision or abandonment, or from the failure to seek medical attention for an injury, illness, or condition. Fatal injuries from mistreatment can and do result from many different acts. Children may die from severe head trauma, shaken baby syndrome, trauma to the abdomen or chest, burns, drowning, suffocation, poisoning, starvation, etc.
It shouldn't hurt to be a kid.